Hi everyone, it's great to see you. Today I'm going to be doing my first planting using my bag in a pot method. And it's not really my method. I learned this from Mal Condon at Heritage Gardens on the Cape, and it is just a fabulous method for me, so I encourage you to give it a try too. We are going to have some gorgeous planters full of spring flowers. So here you can see this is last year's pot, a nice big pot, and in it I have a nursery pot that I've sunk in, and around it this rim gap full of dirt that I can fill with any type of flowers. And then throughout the season I can just take my planted bags and put them in here full of different flowers and change them out so they always look like I have something blooming in these pots. So if you haven't seen me put this together yet, I'm going to show you how you can do this starting from square one. So the first thing you need for your bag in a pot method is a very large pot. And because we don't want to have this too heavy to move in the future, I like to use an upsy-daisy insert. So none of these things are sponsored. These are just what works for me. There are probably other great ways you can do this. So I take the upsy-daisy insert and I just put it in the bottom. So I can still drain out the bottom. There's holes in this, so my plants won't get waterlogged, but it raises the level here and it won't make my planter too heavy. The next thing I do is I get a nursery pot, and you want the nursery pot to come about level with the side of your larger pot. So this is the pot in a pot that we're doing, and then around the edge you want to put a good potting mix. So I tend to use the Miracle-Gro moisture control. That works best for me, and if you're using soil from last year you may need to add some nutrients to that soil. I always make a mess doing this. This is probably the trickiest part, to try to keep this centered as you add your dirt. And then you want to leave enough space to plant the plants. So don't completely come up to the edge, but you also want to pack it in enough it will settle as you water those plants later, so you don't want to shortchange yourself with the potting soil. If you drop any of the soil down in the center here, you can always just scoop it out, but this center nursery pot here should be pretty empty. Okay, that looks good. So you can see I have my rim gap filled with some nice potting soil. My nursery pot is ready to go. I'm going to bring this up to our deck and we'll see how we can make this look beautiful. So this is the bag in the pot method. So we have the pot in the pot, but we need the bag part, and that is what we have here. So this is a 5-gallon bag that you can get, and this is for planting. It's a grow bag. I order mine on Amazon, and you can so easily fill these up and then lower them right into the center of your pot in a pot. And then once your tulips are done, or whatever you have here, all you have to do is carefully lift them out. Of course, this is settled a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna need help. Get someone to hold the nursery pot down and lift it out. And then you can switch in whatever kind of flowers you like. Now, back in the fall, I planted tulip bulbs in these. And when I did that, I just used an extra nursery pot, put this bag in it, put the bulbs in it, left them in my yard. They are coming up very nicely, but here they are. They're not in bloom yet. So I'm going to save this bag. These will bloom beautifully coming up. And then I went to a local nursery and put in some already blooming tulips so that I can enjoy some now. These will pass. I'll take out this bag. I'll put in the next bag of flowers. And then you can plant along the edge anything that you would like. Because it's so early in the season, I'm going to be doing pansies, but I will trade them out for other things come about mid-May. So let's get planting. I always take and tuck these little handles in the side. There we go. I have these adorable sorbet pink halo violas. Violas have a smaller face to them than pansies do, but they are also very cold tolerant. So these will do well out here, and I'm just going to fill up this rim as much as I can. This is just so beautiful. I love the contrast of these light, beautiful little violas with the darker pink here. It's so pretty. And now they will grow up. They will completely cover in the edge of the bag and the pot that is contained within here. I'm going to need to obviously clean up the mess that I've made, but we are looking so good. And we have 2 more planters to do up here. Now the other 2 planters, I'm not starting from scratch. They are pots in the pots that I used last year. So let me show you how that's going to look. So over here, I already have my leftover dirt from last year that I planted. And in here, I had 3 lemon marmalade heuchera. And you can see they're still here. Those are perennials, and they are going to come back. So what I'm going to do is very carefully just plant some pansies or violas in between that, while these are coming back to life, can sort of fill in this space, and we'll add some tulips to the center. So in this bag, I have some tulips that I purchased, but I also have the bulbs coming up from the fall. So this is just one little area of tulips that I have. I'm going to tuck in the handles. And as these die, these will be growing in, and I'll have another round of tulips coming, which is very exciting. Okay, so you will see that I sort of worked around our little heuchera that are coming back here. They have plenty of space to put out some new leaves. And then I had some extra space still inside my bag here, so I just put some pansies in there too. With gardening, you cannot do it wrong. You do it however you think it's going to look best. And I think that sort of covers the space really, really nicely. So we have our larger pansies here. These are the Matrix Ocean Pansy with these beautiful dark faces here. And now I'm going to head to the last pot. So here's our last bag in a pot. I am going to be putting in some sorbet Neptune violas, which are this beautiful deeper purple color, along with some of the tulips, both the ones that I bought recently and the ones that are coming up from where I planted in the fall. So here we have our sorbet Neptune violas, our beautiful tulips, and it just looks so springy. And I just love that I will be able to look out the window and see these, and then once they're past, I'm gonna put in something else. If you haven't had a chance yet to give the bag in a pot a try, I highly recommend that you do. I have a playlist that goes through some of the other combinations that I've done this way, and I will list the materials, the pots, the bags, the nursery pots down below for you. Please hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.